Hello and welcome back to All Things Korean. So the other day I got a comment on one of my older YouTube videos asking for me to explain why 맛없습니다 is pronounced with a 디귿 sound. So when you first learn to read Korean, you learn all these basic pronunciation rules, and you probably learned that when you have a 받침, or a syllable that ends in a consonant, followed by a vowel sound, then the sound from the 받침 kind of carries over to the next syllable. However, there are so many different exceptions and other rules that kind of interfere with this basic pronunciation rule, and in this video I'm going to address why 맛있다 is pronounced with a 시옷 sound, 맛있다, but 맛없다 is not pronounced as 맛없다. So to address this issue, we are first going to just look at the word 맛. Now 맛 has a 받침. There is a consonant that is ending the syllable, and normally this consonant makes a sound that is similar to S, like as in 사랑 or 시. However, when it comes at the end of a syllable block, when it's a 받침, then it is pronounced as a 디귿. And this is because of another pronunciation rule whereby 받침 or syllable endings can only be pronounced in these 7 sounds. So however a word is written, whichever Hangul, whichever alphabet comes at the end of a syllable in a word, it can only be pronounced in one of these 7 sounds. So if I give you a couple of examples, 맛 is obviously the example we're going to look at today. It's not 맛, it's 맛. Other words, we have 꽃. The 받침 for the word 꽃 is 치읓, which normally makes a ch sound. But when it's at the 받침 of a word, it is pronounced as 꽃. Let's also look at the word 부엌, which means kitchen. The 받침 for this word is 키읔, which is pronounced like a K. But since it's a 받침, the word is pronounced as 부엌. So this is one of the several pronunciation rules that we're going to be looking at today. When a word ends in a 받침, it can only be pronounced in a few ways. However, the situation changes when the word with the 받침 is followed by a vowel sound, or in other words, when it is followed by a syllable or a character that starts with 이응. Now 이응 is a placeholder. It has no value, it has no phonetic value when it comes at the initial of a syllable. So we can regard it as silent. The sound from the preceding 받침 or the consonant would carry over, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video. However, this goes 2 ways, and I'm going to explain the 2 ways for you today, and hopefully this should clarify why 맛있다 and 맛없다 are pronounced differently. Actually, it's not these rules that are going to explain why, but you'll see later. So the first scenario, the first case, is when the word with a 받침 is followed by a vowel sound that is a particle, a suffix, or a word ending. So these components are not words on their own. They need to be attached to a different word to give it grammatical value. When a word with a 받침 is followed by one of these particles or word endings or suffixes that start with a vowel sound, then the 받침, it retains its original pronunciation. So in the case of 맛, when it is followed by case number 1, then the 시옷 받침 is not pronounced as a 디귿, like the earlier pronunciation rule we discussed, but it is just pronounced as a 시옷, like the regular original 시옷 sound, that S or SH-ish kind of sound. For example, Let's look at this sentence. In this case, the E that follows 맛 is a particle. Therefore, this word is pronounced 맛이. 맛이 이상해요. Let's look at this sentence. In this case, the 이에요 that follows the word 맛 is a word ending. It's a sentence ending. Therefore, here also, the 받침 in 맛 retains its original pronunciation, and this sentence is pronounced 이건 딸기 맛이에요. So one more time, if a word with a 받침 is followed by a vowel sound that is a particle or a suffix or a word ending, it retains its original sound. That was case number 1. Case number 2 is when a word with a 받침 is followed by another word or, a full morpheme, a word that has its own meaning when it's by itself. So it doesn't need to rely on another word, it has meaning on its own. This is the case of 맛없다. So if you look at 맛, it has meaning. It means taste. The word 없다 also has meaning. It means to not have. So in this case, the pronunciation rule from the beginning of the video, it still holds. And 맛 is still pronounced 맛 with a 디귿 받침. And this word is correctly pronounced 맛없다. It's not 맛없다, it's 맛없다, because 맛 and 없다 are two separate words. But let's look at the word 맛있다. If 맛 and 없다 were two separate words, then 맛 and 있다 are two separate words as well. It's the same concept. You have 맛 and you have 있다, which means to have. But why is this pronounced 맛있다 when technically it should be pronounced 맛있다? And the answer is, the correct way to pronounce this is actually 맛있다. However, everyone just pronounces it 맛있다, and therefore this has just become one exception to the rule. And I think the reason for this might be because, the sentence 맛이 있다, if you say it really quickly, then it becomes 맛있다, 맛이 있다, 맛있다, 맛있다. And maybe people were saying that really quickly and that just kind of stuck. But in any case, 맛있다 was not supposed to be the correct way to pronounce this word. However, it just stuck around, and if every single Korean pronounces it this way, then you just gotta give in. So this has been acknowledged as a standard way to pronounce the word. However, just understand that 맛있다 is just an exception to the rule, and I hope this clarifies why 맛있다 and 맛없다, although they are really similar words, are pronounced completely differently. I guess the short answer is that 맛있다 is just pronounced like that. That's why it's different. There's really no other explanation. But this video should also clarify why the word 맛 can be pronounced differently depending on the situation. So I hope you found this video informative. If you have any other pronunciation questions, you can leave them in any of the comments in any of my videos. I'll try to look through all of them, and if it's a really good question, I will make another video like this just to explain that particular question. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for more videos like this if you want to learn Korean with me, and if you want some daily one-line Korean listening practice, then please follow me on Instagram on all things KRN, and I'll see you in the next one. 다음 영상에서 만나요.